I'm here to meet with everybody, make some changes, and we are going to make changes, and that's going to come. And once again, you will be proud of the team, and I'm with you guys. I'm embarrassed. And by the way, it's not just me. Players, coaches, front office, like I said, security guards, everyone's part of this. We all felt like it was a disappointing season, and we're accountable, and the fans deserve better, and we will deliver better going forward.
This was so disappointing and so frustrating, and hearing Mat Ishbia mention everybody was disappointed in this. I know there's a level of patience that's involved, but when you hear about changes and sweeping changes, and when he says, I'm here to make changes, I think there's already a level of patience that's run out, because this has been so clear to a lot of people for so long that this was not going to work.
Right.
So let's go already. I mean, Sacramento got a new GM in a day. Did they make the right hire? Probably not. It's the Sacramento Kings. They very rarely do the right thing. That was one of the things, too, was, the diagnosis of what went wrong. And Mat Ishbia made a couple references to, you'll be proud of this team. We'll never say next year that this team didn't play hard. That was obviously one of the things that fell on Mike Budenholzer's plate, and why he's not there. And we haven't really talked about that part of the press conference and the subsequent interview he did with Burns and Gambo yesterday.
Right.
But the question came up 3 days after Mike Budenholzer was fired. Why did they do it?
Yeah, we got to get the next hire right, and we will. The team and the roster that was constructed by James, Josh, the scouts, the front office is much better than a 36-win roster. So there's a lot of reasons why Coach Bud's not here. I'm not going to get to all those reasons, but definitely believe we should have won a lot more games and been a lot more competitive during those games as well. And so I wish him the best, but it was the wrong coach for our organization and for that team. And at the end of the day, you can blame me for it, because I'm the owner at the end of the day.
Yeah. So this is where it got murky for me, because it was obvious pretty early on. There was a lot of talk yesterday about the turn of the year. When we hit January, we knew something was amiss, and we started having conversations. Then the Tim McMahon piece came out in March 14th. It was published. I don't know when the interview happened with Mat Ishbia that was featured. I imagine it was a couple days before that.
Right.
But on March 14th, that was published, and in that article, Mat Ishbia said, I still have all the belief in the world in Mike Budenholzer, just saying the right things. But then on the flip side, yesterday, he talked about, I'm not going to be patient. I thought Mat Ishbia and the Suns front office showed a tremendous amount of patience in Mike Budenholzer. Is it a reflection on them if they fire him early? Absolutely. But if you knew it was wrong, why didn't you move on? And Burns and Gambo asked that question yesterday.
Maybe we should have, right? Maybe we should have done something different with that. In retrospect, could we have done something to spur a little bit of a jump start in the team? Maybe. I don't know. All season I watched every game, just like hopefully you guys did, and there's a lot of things that you looked at, and there's a lot of reasons that Coach Bud's not with us. I'm not going to get into all those reasons, because there's some stuff, a lot more in-depth stuff than we're going to talk about here. But one of the things that we're talking about is, from a basketball perspective, our defense, our consistency wasn't good.
The way he started that answer, maybe I should have. And then the other thing that stands out, obviously, there's a lot more detailed things that we're not going to get into here.
Yeah.
Apparently, one is only to surmise that it was an absolute debacle from that introductory press conference throughout the season. And I'm wondering why it wasn't done.
Yeah.
Because the team needed a spark.
I don't know why Devin Booker or KD didn't care enough to stand up on a table and either tell people, get the word out, or go to Mat Ishbia and say, you need to get him out of here right now, because this is not going to work. This is why the blaming of Mike Budenholzer, I am going to remain firm in making sure it doesn't get out of proportion, because if we're going to say this is all the basketball coach's fault, then nothing is going to change here. And Mat Ishbia, from my perspective, he knows the truth here. He said in that cut you just played that the roster that Josh and James and the basketball staff put together, he did not include himself in that. Although we all know he was the one responsible for the most significant move, the trade for Kevin Durant. So he knows that if the issue is now that the basketball people are just kind of executing what he wants to do, then he knows the change that has to be made is him. But that's not what he's saying. So if that's the case, this is why I think that there's going to be a new general manager, because he's making it very clear that this roster, the ideas behind it and the reasoning behind it came from the basketball ops department. It just came to my desk for the stamp of approval, the yay or the nay. That's to me, this is a very, very important distinction that has to be kind of reconciled here.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.